everybody. It's Linda Griffin here, your nonfiction book coach. Today I want to talk about one of the common questions that I get asked by clients, and that is, how do I write a book that someone wants to read? In other words, how do I write a book that will sell? The first way that I answer that question is to think about your why. Why do you want to write a book? Who are the people that would be your ideal reader that would benefit the most from your book? Think about your experiences. Maybe you have solved a problem that you can help someone else solve, and you can write about your journey, where you started, how you figured out how to solve the problem, what help and resources you got along the way, and then how you came out the other side being successful. That's a book that someone who is in the same position you were in back then would want to read. Another book that you could write is a memoir, lessons learned through your life, where people may be struggling with being an introvert or being shy, or people may be struggling with how to do public speaking, and you figured out how to do those things even though you're an introverted person. That's a book that you can write. That's called a prescription book, a how-to book. You might know something about a particular subject such as leadership, and someone who wants to get ahead in corporate America, and you figured out the 5 reasons or 5 steps or 5 strategies that someone can use to get ahead in corporate America. That's a book that someone who is starting out in their career would want to read. So you want to think about, what are the skills that you have? What are the experiences that you have that would translate into helping someone else? And when you figure that out, the next thing to do is to see what else is out there. Who else has written a book about your subject? One of the misconceptions that people have is that they need to come up with a brand new idea, something that no one has ever thought of before, and that's going to be a best-selling book. Actually, the opposite is true. You want to find a subject that there's lots of books about, because that means that those are topics that people are interested in and are willing to spend their money to learn about those topics. So my favorite research tool is Amazon. It's the biggest bookstore in the world, and it has an extremely strong search engine. So all you have to do is type in your topic, such as leadership or crocheting or winemaking, whatever your passion and experience is, and you'll see the best-selling books in that category. Take a look at them. Most of them have the look inside feature, which will let you see at least the table of contents and maybe the first few pages of the book. See what they're writing about. See what the topics are that they're writing about, and that will give you some ideas on what your book should be about. If there are no books on the topic that you want to write about, that's a red flag. Okay, that means that no one else is writing about it. It means no one else is buying it, and you need to go back to the drawing board and come up with a different idea. And the third thing, and I'll leave you with this quick tip, is don't think that your book has to be a huge 300, 400 page book to be successful. In fact, the opposite is true. People don't want to read large, thick, long, boring books anymore. We're living in the YouTube generation, the instant gratification generation, and people want to get a quick answer that solves their problem. So when you're thinking about planning your book, you want to think about a smaller book. Under 200 pages is ideal, because that is big enough where you can get a lot of information packed into your book, but not so large that people will be intimidated and not want to read it. So that's your quick nonfiction book coach tip for the day. I'll talk to you next time.